There are four major roadblocks that prevent your team from learning, hearing, and executing on what you tell them to do. Let's figure out what they are and how we can get past them on today's.
This is a Touchstone Publishers presentation, your trusted source of leadership knowledge.
Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday morning to you. My name is Glenn Daniels, and I'm the COO of Touchstone Publishers. Thank you very much for joining us today for Essential Leadership Skills Live. So, today we want to talk about those four blocks that prevent your team from being as great as you need them to be. There's four blocks. So, let's discuss those. Let's get those up and rolling for us here. Just a moment here. Struggling with our equipment again as usual. All righty. Okay, so the challenge of doing a live program and not really being 100%, I don't see. At a much slower rate. We need to bring things, information into our learning process at the speed of 175 to 180 words per minute. So you sat in these type of workshops where you have to learn how to do a process, maybe learn how to do a software, learn how to do certain things. And you say, can that person speak slower so I can stay caught up with them, so I can process the information? Well, that seems to happen, and we need to pay attention to the fact that that is happening to us. So, why we say that you need these leadership skills need to be part of your mind, part of the questions about how you deal with things. Well, let me ask you to ask a couple questions of yourself. How fast are my direct reports processing this information right now? Am I talking too fast or too slow for them? Powerful questions to ask yourself. How fast does my direct reports need to listen to this information right now? Are they speaking too fast or are they speaking too slow? Remember, if you're teaching somebody something, a process, rules, regulations, software development, or something like that, you must go slower. But if you're mentioning your vision, mission statement, don't bore them, get to the point. Number two, there's information overload. We oftentimes overload with information. And think about it, it happens all the time. It's not an oftentimes thing. Your boss pulled you into a meeting right before this meeting started and said, I need for you to cover this point. So now you figured out thinking to yourself how to cover this point. Or you get a phone call from your family saying, hey, we've got this going on, bring this back home. You think about that. Or you got 2 or 3 employees who come to you and say, hey, I'm having trouble with this issue. Those issues are coming to you. Or your office is too cold and you're thinking about that. Or probably the biggest sin is that we have Google, okay, or the other platforms that are search, but we can get answers. We spend a lot of time searching there. We spend a lot of time on YouTube looking for, I shouldn't say it because we're on YouTube right now. But we spend a lot of our time looking on YouTube for things and trying to get a handle for what YouTube is all about. Okay, so we spend time doing that. Okay, and those are all will add on to our information overload. So when we sit down at the meeting or when we're talking to our direct reports, they have too much information. So here's how you take care of that. Here's how you take care of that inside that 6 inches between the ears. Ask yourself, is your direct report suffering from a process information overload? Are we having to process too much information on overload? Creating an overload. Overloading with information. One quick thing that you can do to take care of this issue and help a lot is for you to start holding your meetings. If you're holding a half-hour meeting, end it at 25 minutes. If you're holding an hour-long meeting, end it at 55 minutes, between 50 and 55 minutes. End these meetings a little bit early. Allow your team to slowly digest that information and start getting rid of some of that information overload, especially if they got to go to your next meeting. Take some time, get your points out, and try to do no more than 3 major points per meeting. Try to cover no more than 3. If it's one-on-one, you may have to cover 1 or could be 3, but just try to stay within that 3 range at the most. Okay. Then we have what may be a critical one, and that's receivers apprehension. Apprehension. The person you're speaking with, they have some level of apprehension. There's something that's going on with them that makes them kind of not trust. They kind of doubt what you're saying. They kind of doubt what's going on. They're not happy. So, in between your head, do they have problems with staying focused, paying attention? That's what I want to ask my folks. Do they have a problem staying focused or paying attention? Are they looking at their watches or something of that nature? Okay. Are they hearing different information than what they heard 5 minutes ago or an hour ago? Apprehension comes from change. When you have to change things, people are not quite so comfortable, so they have a little bit of apprehension, and they're trying to deal with that apprehension in their minds, not really paying attention to what you have to say. Apprehension means, do they trust what you're saying? If you're that type of leader who got your position just because you've been there the longest, so you got that title, can they really trust you to lead? They may trust you to do the job that they're doing, but can they trust you to lead them in the right direction? The last one, shifting attention. Okay. People's attention shift. They wonder. It goes all over the place. Okay. If you're lecturing, talking, delivering a keynote to people, you have to understand people's attention will be shifting, and it's your responsibility as a leader to get inside your head and say, what can I do to bring that person back or to distract them from that shifting attention? Great example of shifting attention is cell phones. How many of you are surfing the net on your cell phone right now? How much attention can you pay to what the boss is what the boss is saying to you if your attention is shifting? If your attention is going between the cell phone, the computer, and then back to that person? Okay. As a person who's trying to speak with your direct reports, whether it's in a meeting or one-on-one, what attention are you paying to them? What are you paying attention to them? How are you paying attention to them? What are you doing to pay attention to that person? And to have them pay attention to you. So the secret here is to simply go ahead and have them, you give them attention first. I'm sorry. Have them notice that you're giving them attention first. That's the secret. Now, don't know if you can tell this or not. Monday morning, I guess I just didn't get as prepared over the weekend, got really super prepared for this. But if you think about what has happened here throughout this course of our talk today, my attention has wandered from what's going on. How come the camera's not showing me on the system? What's going on with my slide presentation? How did it get out of order? The bottom thirds, how did it get out of order? What's going on with a lot of different things? So my attention has shifted. It's been shifting. Now, if I can't pay attention, how well do I expect you to pay attention? So let's just turn that issue into a lesson. If I'm not paying attention, how well can I expect you to pay attention? If you're not paying attention to me, how would you expect me to pay attention to you? You must give the attention first. That has to happen. You must give that attention first to those people so that they will start to pay attention to you. Now, one last thing I want to make sure we talk about on all this, and we just kind of went over it just a little bit. You must give first. Get it in your mind's eye that you're going to give first. Okay, you're going to give that person your attention. You're going to make sure that you give that person your trust, so there's no apprehension. You're going to think about how much information you're sharing with that person. Are you going to try to do 3 or 4 topics at once? I'm sorry, are you going to try to do 3 or more topics, or are you going to stay with 3 or fewer? Okay. And then you also have to consider the last one, which is just the ability for that person to process what you're saying, the processing rate. Okay. You have to grab all those yourself and do those things first. That helps you get past the hurdle of your employee or your direct report not listening to you if you do it first. All right, folks, I want to thank you very much for your time, your patience today. Sorry for the technical glitches and for the mouth glitches. We will see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. So remember, we're doing this Monday through Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. We're going to try to stay under 15 minutes every morning. And we're going to get these technical glitches out and get my tongue working better from now on. Hey, thank you very much for your patience as we build up and get to learning this process and get better and better at what we're supposed to be doing. So thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your day.